You just think Power Query Editor is something like a powerful kitchen, right? So in the kitchen, we prepare our ingredients. Sorry, we sometimes, right, we may prepare our ingredients before serving them in a beautiful or favorable dish, right? Similarly, in the real world, you will not get the processed data most of the time, majority of the time. Okay, so you get raw data. So that raw data needs cleaning, data cleaning or data transformation to make it useful for analysis. Okay, so that is where the Power Query Editor comes into picture. This is where we do all kind of data preparation, all the things. Okay, so why do I need to use Power Query Editor? Like I said, you can use the Power Query Editor to perform the data transformation, the common data transformation or cleaning. Okay, so in the intro, they'll ask you, hey, can you tell me what are the transformations that you did it as part of your Power Query Editor? Let's say I give you the Excel sheet. So what kind of data transformation that the common data transformation that you do it or data cleaning that you do it? Let's say, in the Excel file, you have the list of names. Okay. Some, some are written in capital letter and some are written in lowercase and some with extra spaces. So these kind of inconsistency, you can clean it up. Okay. With the help of Power Query Editor without writing lines of code. Just by pointing and clicking it, you can make your data consistent. What do you mean by consistent? What do you mean by consistent? What is data consistency? For example, you have the column in your Excel sheet, the column name in your Excel sheet, data. So you have a column by the name of region. Okay. Somewhere they mentioned about, South region. Somewhere they mentioned about South. And somewhere they mentioned about Southeast. Let's Southeast location, you have some retail store. Okay. So one staff, they mentioned Southeast. In the Southeast area itself, you have 10 retail stores are there. In one location, they mentioned Southeast. Some location, they mentioned Southeast. And some other location, they use Southeast. Or some people, they use Southeast. Different locations, when they generate the bill, they use different naming standard for the same region itself. For the Southeast, some people, they mention Southeast, some they mention SE, some people, they mention Yes East. There is nothing wrong here, but instead of having three different versions for the same region, they can come up with this common standard, right? So what you do is SE. Either you can use SE, Southeast, or you can use the full form Southeast, right? Or you can use this short. So all the 10 stores, all these 10 stores, all the 10 stores in the South East region should follow the common namings as Southeast means South, or you can use Southeast or AC, but you don't use, say, of the 10 stores, right? Few stores they are using Southeast, few states they are using AC, few states they are using Southeast. What will happen? This is called data inconsistency. Okay, there should be a common process. That is when I think you must have heard about this in data governance. So larger enterprises, there is a separate the separate what is the practice called data governance. What they do is they define the naming standard. So say what did they define the naming standard? They circulate it to all the location staffs. Hey, you need to specify SC, not Southeast or SC East. For Southeast region, you need to use SC. Okay, so that instead of Southeast SC, right? Yes, West, everyone will use SC. So there are companies still they don't have data governance team or practice. What they do is they give their own name. Finally, they end up some issues. For example, all the Southeast are 10 stores put together, what is the total sales? So what you do is you take the region column, and so when you do summarization, what you do? So select sum of sales from the sales table where, sales region, group by region. So in that case, group by region, in the sense, what will happen is this one, the 10 stores, right? 10 stores, few stores sales amount will go under this name. Few stores sales amount will go under this one. And few stores, the sales amount will go under this. See, for example, I just write it very clearly because I have non-IT people. Southeast region, you have 4 stores are there, okay? 4 stores are there. And they mentioned, right, some location, 4 stores, 4 retail shops, okay? In the Southeast region, they use the term, Southeast, Southeast and all, okay? Southeast, 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 okay? But here the sales amount is, right, in this retail store, 1 retail store, 2 retail store, 3 retail store, 4. Here you have, 100. Just for simplicity, I just put smaller number, okay? And 300. If you add all the things, how much you will get? 500, 600, 700. These 4 stores, the sales amount was $700. Okay. And because all of them use the 4 stores, they've used the Southeast name in the region column. But for the other 4 regions, okay, the other 4 regions, they used S, E, S dot E, S dot E in the region column. Instead of typing SE in all the places, wherever Southeast is there, they are supposed to use S dot E. But here, again, let's here you have 100 and 200, 500, and here, let's 200. In the SC, how much the total comes? 700, 900,000. Actually, if somebody is asking you, can you please tell me what is the total sales we made in Southeast region? All the 10 stores put together. Okay, all the 10 stores. You have 10 stores, right? All the 10 stores put together. What is the total sales? But in this case, what happens, since you have used the different naming standard for the same region, the amount gets splitted here. Okay. Hence, you will not get the accurate report. When they see the totals, so you need to add these two things, right? 1000 plus 700. So all you do is in the select query, use the select query, select this simple plain English language. Okay. The select query is very, the sum of sales from your sales table. You have something called group by region. Okay, group by region. So in that case, group all the regions. What will happen is, though the Southeast region is the region is a single one, right? So since in 4 stores they used SC, and 4 other 4 they use Southeast. This one show it as a Southeast 700, and SC is SC 1000. They will get confused. Don't give me 700,000. Why the hell we are getting 700,000? When you look at the data, somewhere they mentioned Southeast, somewhere they mentioned SC. They did not use the naming standard consistently across all the stores. All the stores, they were supposed to use SC. Since they used different name, the total amount got splitted and it went into different names. It causes confusion. So you have in the region column, you have the inconsistency. Somewhere they mentioned Southeast region, somewhere they mentioned SC. The remaining 2 stores, they used South or, SC East. Right? So some money will go here, the total sales will go here, some total sales will go here. It causes confusion. This is called data consistency. So in that case, what you need to do, replace all the values by SC. That is the solution. The problem is you have the data inconsistency is there. Data inconsistency is there. Okay, you have the data inconsistent. That means they did not use the consistent name here. Okay, they did not use the consistent SC is supposed to be there, but different locations, they have arbitrarily or randomly used different names for the same region. right? So what is the solution for this? To make it consistent, you need to replace all these values by SC. This is called data inconsistency. Some cases, we do some kind of mapping, encoding. This is called encoding. So data scientists, they use a term called encoding. Sometimes, right, instead of male, you replace the male by M, or male by 1, okay, and all the male by 1. This is the common standard used, okay, in by the statistician. Female is 0. I have the column by the name of sex. So here, wherever 1 is, that means the male. Wherever 0 is, that's a female. Instead of using male, female, right, replace that with some value. This is called encoding. So why should I replace the male by 1? Why should I replace female by 0? Space saving, okay? And also from the machine learning point of view, or artificial, they want almost all the columns supposed to be numeric value. If you have a mix of text value, right, you need to replace that with a numeric value, okay? The space, from the data analytics point of view, you just, this saves a lot of space, right? Otherwise, male, female, male, lengthy word, right? So this one, just instead, if you replace the male by 1, this is called encodings, right? So you need to do some kind of encoding. This also falls under the cleaning category. And encoding make your data consistent. In case of any inconsistency, you need to address it. Deduplication. If you have duplicate records, you need to identify and remove the duplicate record. These are the commonly performed data transformation. They'll ask you what is the common data transformation that you carried out in your data set. So you can tell this one, right? And apart from the formatting related issues, like I have shown you, along with the numeric value, dollar or pound is there, because of which the entire column get assigned with text data. Okay. And some cases, what will happen is you have daytime column is there, but since you have used the forward slash or hyphen, it assigns the text data. So you need to assign the correct data type to each columns. Okay. And next one, the filtering. We don't need the entire data, entire records in your data set. Sometimes you need to have only the subset of the data and only the subset of the columns. When you use the entire data mistakenly, what will happen? Don't ever do that mistake. It literally slow down the performance, even in the case of dev environment. Okay. So filtering, we do filtering. Okay. And the next is splitting the single column into multiple columns. Sometimes, right, more than one column, we merge it. Okay. Merging, splitting, merging. And some cases, we join the data from multiple sources, append the data from multiple sources. Joining is something like merge and append. So combining the data from multiple sources, that is called your append. So these are the commonly carried out data transformations in the case of any analytics project. Okay. And apart from this, we do summarization, data summarization. All these things will comes into picture. So in the Power Query, using Power Query, you can find out the missing values, and you can address the missing values also. And we can append the data. You can identify and remove duplicate records. You can filter you can do all these things using your Power Query editor. Okay. So in the case of Power Query, what happens is it uses something called M language. Power Query Editor. Query Editor uses something called M language. Sorry, M language. It's not an arrow mark, just M language. Okay. M language. It is also called as a mashup language. You don't have to be expert in mashup language. What happens is in the Power Query, if you want to perform any simple data transformation, all you need to do is just point and click, you're done. It does the data transformation, okay? For the basic and very moderate data cleaning data. So for example, you want to find and replace, that is possible. Just point and click, right? When you say right click on it, you will find and replace. When you click on the replace, finding when find what and replace what, right? So you just point, but behind the scene, so let's say you replace some value with some other value, right? Sorry, you have replaced the existing value with some other value. So what you do is just point and click and you replace it. But behind the scene, the M language scripts will be generated by the Power Query for him to understand. Okay, I just show you here. You have already seen it, how to change the data type for the date column. Before changing that, what are the things that we need to do? All the things we have seen it already. So this orders table is not required. That is from OData feed. I just delete from the model. Yeah, you can go to the model and delete. See, instead of deleting, for example, I just go to the data model here. I just select this table, press delete key from, and you can. This is another way of removing the table from your model. Okay, you don't need all the tables in most of the time. For example, you here, I go here, I just remove this. Click on the drop down, the transform data, click on transform data. It will take you to your Power Query editor. This is what your Power Query editor, okay? It will open up a separate window for the Power Query editor, okay? You can see the Power Query editor here. And all the tables, whatever we have seen, right? Those were called as the queries in the case of Power Query. These are queries, right? Called as queries. And sales aggregate fact table, what are the columns are there? You can see it here. And the sales fact table, you can see it here. And order date got identified correctly here, list price, everything is correct. And even the quantity column, right? You can see that next to that, you can see ABC. That means, right? This quantity column it was not got assigned with the correct data type. And we will click on the drop down here. And then we don't see any issues here, but we are wondering why it got assigned text data type, right? So what I do is I just click on the ABC here, because rest of the columns, if you see 1.2, but that means decimal number. A decimal number, it can identify precisely the precise data type for the decimal values columns, okay? And in this, it's a whole number. Hence, it assigns the ABC. You click on the ABC here. You can see these are the different data types that are available here in Power Query data, okay? Decimal number, fixed decimal number, whole number, percentage, and date time, time alone, okay? Date time, time zone also possible, duration, all the things are available. These are the different data types are available. Since the quantity column is the whole number, I just click on the whole number. I just clicked on the whole number. So what happened? Look here. It generated a script, right? This is called M script or M language. I just changed the data type by clicking on the ABC, and then I selected the whole number. It generates something called table.transform column types and DBO sales fact and quantity and int 64. This is a data type, and this is a whole number, right? And the column, which column, and the sales fact table, DBO, okay, database object sales fact and transform column. This is the function, built-in function. See, according to us, click on this and it will display all the data types. And here you choose whatever the data type you wanted to assign it to this column. That's all. Just point and click. But behind the scene, for him to understand what you did, he generates, his own script. Okay. This one you don't have to write it, but if you know how to modify the script, right? Sometimes you may have to modify this M language script generated with Power Query Editor. So for that, right? If you need to be little bit have some knowledge on the M script also. Okay. So this, supposing you don't want a column, for example, I just say here, I don't need a discount column. I select this column. I just keep the cursor on top of it, right click on it. You will find various options. This is called your context menu. In this context menu, if I click on remove, this column will get deleted. Which one? The discount column. Remove other columns. What it does is, except this column, rest of the columns will get deleted. So this is very powerful, right? Look here, I am going to remove this column. When I click on remove, what happened? The discount column went off. It is not there. Look here, if you scroll towards your left side, and if you see, can you see the discount? It's not there. Okay. So what happened here? For the, I just right clicked on it and then I clicked on remove. The column got removed. For that, it generated a script, M script. Okay. Table.remove columns, change the type, discount. Discount column, I removed it. It generated something. See, something like that, right? So you know Telugu. I don't know Telugu language, but we both know English, right? So according to Power Grid, this is a common, according to us, we are performing some action. For him to understand, he uses some common language, okay? And here he is using something like M language script. So the moment you carry out any task, for example, removing the column, change the data type, or merging the column, splitting the column, what happens is, and here on the left side, right side, right, you will find something on applied steps. Applied steps, you will find all the steps, whatever carried out by you. Look here, if I click on the change type, this step, if I click on it, you can see that in the quantity column, we have changed the column type. We change the data type of quantity to integer data type. Okay, and when I click on the removed column step, sorry, I just undid this. I just remove it again. So what happened? Remove. So for example, later point in time, if you want to check, right? So what are the data preparation steps that we carried out? So when I clicked on the change type, I can see the discount column. But when I click on the remove column, this step, last step, I don't see the discount column here. Okay, it registers or records each steps whatever we carried out in the correct sequence, in the proper sequence, in the orderly manner. It records or register the steps carried out by. It's something like in your apartment, you have the CCTV camera. Let's say you want to check in the morning 10 a.m. what happened, who visited your apartment. So when you play back, what you can see, the 10 a.m. you will get to know who came first, who came later. In the proper order it show, right? So sharp 10 a.m. one guy visited. Sharp 10:01 one guy visited, other guy visited. So after A, B visited. Similarly, here it's something like a CCTV. Okay, it records each and every steps that carried out by us, and it contains the applied steps section contains both the transformation carried out by us as well as by the Power Query editor itself. See, these two steps, I did not do anything, right? All I did was I just opened the Power Query, I selected the sales fact table. These two steps got generated automatically. And then the rest of the steps carried out by me. Okay. Remember these things at this moment. And what is source? Next to the source, you can see the the wheel icon. When you click on the wheel icon, next to the source, if you click on the wheel icon, it will tell you. So where this data comes from? It came from SQL Server, SQL Express. What is the server name? This is the SQL Server name. And which database this table we brought in? DemoDB. From the demo database, from this SQL Server, we have loaded this sales fact table here. Okay. And the next one is the navigation. When you click on this, this is just a navigation. Schema is DBO, database object. Okay, database object. This is schema name, and the table name is this one. And when you click on the wheel icon next to that, you can see all the columns, right? You can see the accounts, all the things we can see. No, not this one. And you can see the navigation sales pack. So this is the order, okay? The various things are there. Accounts, table, customer times, like different tables are there. What is this? Okay, in this database. So which database? In the DemoDB, what all the tables are there? It shows us here, okay? Order all the objects it shows us, okay? let's not worry about that. So the source and navigation, these two steps were carried out by Power Query Editor by itself, but the third step carried out by us. I just changed the data type to quantity, but see here, this sales fact table is in direct query mode. When I change to the integer whole number data type, it tells me switch all tables to import mode. Even to change the data type, right? It is not possible in direct query mode. It has that much limitation. Okay. Yes. Now you understood what is Power Query Editor at at the high level. This is where you might be asking this question, right? I removed this column. So for example, I just go here dim customer dimension. Okay, here I just what we'll do is instead of that one, right? I just remove the gender column. Yeah, it got removed. Okay, because it is in the dual storage mode. Customer dimension is a dual storage. It's kind of right. It's import mode here in this case. I was able to remove it. I removed this column. Okay, later point time, if I think, hey, I made a mistake, I want the gender column to be present. You can go back here. You can go back here. Last step was, what is the last step that you carried out? You removed the column gender, right? That is what there here. It got registered here or recorded here. Next to that, you will find the cross icon here, right? When you click on the cross, this will be undone. That means you will get back to the previous column which you deleted. Now you see gender. This is possible if once you remove it, later point time you realize, no, man, I mistakenly deleted. I need the gender column back. You can click on the cross next to the removed columns. You will get back your gender column. Here the Control Z or Control Z will not work in Power Query Editor. Next step is, yes, okay, I just go here, intentionally, I will just remove this column. And next I will go and check here. Okay, here, this issue is there. What I do is I just go back here and then see, since the sales fact table is in direct query mode, we can switch to the import mode. But we can see the message here, the warning message, the step results in a query that is not supported in direct query. You cannot change the data type or quantity to this one. What I will do is I just go here. I will undo this one. Okay, delete this one. And even removed column. Column removal is possible in direct query mode. Which column I remove? The discount column. Okay, fine. I just click on the file ribbon. Okay, and then I'm going to click on close and apply. So there are three options here. When I click on close, whatever the column that you remove, it will not get applied. Okay, it will not get removed permanently. Okay, so if you click on close, the Power Query Editor will get closed. But whatever the steps that you carried out, for example, you change the data type for a specific column, and you removed a column, right? But when you click on close, what will happen? All these steps that you carried out, it will go away. Okay, it will not be taken into account. Okay, but if you apply, what will happen is it will. Let's say if you have removed a column, that will be removed. Okay, and you change the data, that will be made permanent. So all the steps carried by you, which are nothing but the changes carried out by you, will be permanently, that will become permanent. Okay, but when you click on close, it's something like Control Z. Whatever the changes that you made, it will not be made permanent. It will not be applied. It will not be applied. Okay, we have another option called close and apply. When you click on this, the Power Query Editor will get closed, and then it apply all the steps. For example, removed columns, right? You'll remove the column from your model. So here the sales fact table, you can see that we have removed a discount column, right? I just go here and then go to the model view. In the sales fact table, can you see the discount here? Yes, I can see the discount in the model, data model here. Whereas in the Power Query Editor, I have removed the discount column. That is what the last step. Okay. But you might be wondering how come still the discount column is present here, because I have not yet applied this one. Everything has happened in the memory only, the computer memory. Okay. I just click on close and apply. When I do this, what will happen? The sales fact table, you'll find this discount column here. It will get removed. Okay. Apply changes. Can you see that the discount price went off? The next question is, can't I remove the column here? Yes, you can do it. Select the sales fact table here or whatever the column table. And then you, you go to the table view or data view. And for example, in the sales fact table, here you cannot see the columns because it is in direct query mode, right? Number one reason. Number two is customer dimension table is dual mode. For example, I don't need the last name column. I just select it here. And then when you right click on it, you will find delete. Here also you can delete a column. Then why should I go to the Power Query Editor? In the case of direct query mode, you cannot see the data in the table view for the table which you use the direct query mode. For that reason, you can go and you have to use the Power Query Editor to delete the column. But this is an imported table. You can either delete the column here itself, or you can go to the Power Query and delete it there itself. See, in the case of import mode, since I can see the data here itself, I can delete it here itself, right? But remember that once you delete here, once you rename it, whatever you change it, that will not be undone. Like I have shown you in the customer table, customer dimension table, we have another column called gender. If I want it back again, I can go to the Power Query Editor. Okay, I can go to the Power Query Editor. I can undo the step. What is the step? Removed columns. I can bring it back here. For example, I select the customer dimension table. Here the gender column I remove it. If I click on the cross here, it will be undone. I will get my gender column back. 1 second, right? The gender, look here, the gender column. Now it is available as part of my data set. And if I click on close and apply, the same changes will be applied here also. That means my customer dimension table will have now the deleted column gender is available now, right? Look here, the gender column is available. But instead of deleting this column or removing the column from the Power Query, had I done it here, what will happen is you cannot get it back. You cannot undo this one. Okay, just give me a second. Sorry, guys, some Gus. Okay, so you cannot get it back. Once you delete it, it will be permanent. Okay, you cannot get it back. You cannot undo. If you make any changes, right, in the table view, that is possible. You can make changes here also, but once you make any changes, for example, if you remove the column, you cannot get it back. Okay, here he might be asking this question: Can I make it? Can I rename the column as 6? Now look here, it got changed. So you might be asking, so again, I can change it back to gender, right? One second. Yes, here renaming is possible, but if you delete a column, you're gone. Okay, for that purpose, better you can do all kind of changes, whatever changes that you wanted, you can do it in the Power Query Editor. Okay. Okay, fine. Next one is filter the rows. Everything is possible there in Power Query Editor. What I will do is I just quickly go through the fundamentals of data warehouse a little bit.